Absolutely. And let's not forget that it was the Tory government, it was Theresa May actually who pushed this ideology, and the government finally seems to be backtracking on it. But frankly, too late for a lot of children and adolescents who have suffered, in some cases, irreversible damage because they have been set down a route that has given them puberty blockers, and then they've gone on to have hormone treatments or even surgery that are irreversible. And as we know, there have been some high-profile cases of girls, young women and young men who have felt that they were pushed down a path without being asked, given the kind of, neutral guidance that might have helped them or support them. Involved in this had the teachers generally want to be supportive to youngsters, but this, as Jake says, I've reviewed nearly all the significant books on this subject for the Sunday Times in the last few years, and it's not much fun writing about it, because as soon as you voice a view that is not with the prevailing orthodoxy, i.e. that anyone can be any gender they like, then you get into trouble, as J.K. Rowling discovered. But the fact is, this was a very particular ideology, largely dreamt up by an academic called Judith Butler, and it has become, with massive lobbying funding from Stonewall and other charities, there's been a kind of what you might call institutional capture. And I do think the tide is now turning. I have enormous sympathy and compassion for anyone who genuinely suffers gender dysphoria. I think that's a very, very, very difficult thing to go through, and we should absolutely support anybody who does. But I don't believe that the majority of children and youngsters who are going down this path are genuinely suffering gender dysphoria. I think they are suffering from social contagion. Every age has its social contagion, essentially its fashions. And this one is one that has some very, very difficult and irreversible consequences. And I'm very glad that the tide is turning, but too late for many. And the Tory government bears the key responsibility for this and for the damage it has caused.
We were going to talk about the Sunday Telegraph